Welcome, everybody, to Court Cousins, episode 40. My name is Kyle. I'm joined, as always, by my tremendous co-host, Jason the Pich. Yes, he's the Pich. Yes, I'm Kyle. Yes, we're cousins. And this is Court Cousins. Thanks so much for spending some time with us, second cousins. It's a packed show, Pich. This might be our first 2 hour.
It's a jam-packed Orlando edition.
Amen.
In many, many ways.
Yes.
But I'll let you continue your little intro.
The agenda for today is, of course, the Chuma Are You Okay check-in. We'll check in with each other. We have a special video blog which will show the travels and adventures from down in Orlando. Pich is going to do a special Orlando edition of What I Learned.
Yeah.
We'll have a social media roundup. We'll do a new segment, 5 with a Fan. Although that's a working title. I'll talk about that more later.
Okay.
Starter, backup, and bench with tacos. The Court Cousins Championship, first inaugural shootout, and, of course, don't go anywhere, you swashbucklers. Stick around for the large ending.
Oh, we got a lot of pirates watching, apparently.
Yeah, they love that booty out there. But before any of that hijinks and hilarity, big shout-out to all of our all-stars and second cousins tier on the Patreon, making this show go. Magic Player History, Wiffle, Andy Torres, Dylan Holden, Drum, Omid Saberkani, Rafael Perez, Breadhead, Al, Matthew Bell, Dan Young, Yachty, Bernie Pichet, Gloria and Damien, Connor, and the Polish Wonder.
Goal! Goal!
That's
They love their goals. They love their soccer down there. It's coming up in What I Learned.
And a little special shout out to some of the new folks also on the Patreon, Blair and Bill. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining up. We got a bunch of new folks join that community. It's getting to be a lot of fun now there on the Patreon. We've already got some exclusive outtakes. We're going to be doing more video conferencing. The Discord's up. If you're looking for a kind of tighter Orlando Magic community of people that are, really plugged in, and you want to be closer to us and the show, it's becoming something really cool. Mm-hmm. And we have a couple goals. We're trying to get 200 a month and then 300 a month. We're $15 away from the 200. And we're going to start that means we're going to give more free shit away, Pich. So we just need one person to be a second cousin out there, or maybe 2 all-stars, or just a few people coming and buying us a digital beer, and we're going to hit that milestone. And then for 300, man, I have got something in the works, a whole campaign with tons of exclusive content that is just going to be a blast. So
is that digital beer a microfiche brew?
Okay. Yeah, I think so. It's on a micro SD card. We love those micro brews. Had some of those down in Orlando. And we'll talk about that some more later.
But speaking of giveaways.
Yeah, let's go right into it, Pich. Our Patreon giveaway. Every month, we give away a free jersey to one of our supporters, $5 on up. Anyone who's on the Patreon gets entered into that. And Pich, the winner was
Anthony Unwin.
Congrats, Anthony. He's been a long-time supporter, so glad you're getting a jersey, homie.
It's nice to spin a wheel without a bankrupt on there or lose a turn.
Yeah,
it's just everybody,
only
whoever
good
lands
vibes.
on, it wins.
Yeah. We did a lot of raffles and giveaways for Court Cousins Night, which will be in the video blog in just a second.
Mm-hmm.
But before any of that, let's check in with each other. Let's set it up at the top.
Yep.
Social emotional check-in, but on Court Cousins here, it's the Chuma Are You Okay check-in. Pich, I'll let you go first, sir. How you doing for the Chuma Are You Okay check-in?
Well, we just went on this great vacation, which we're going to be talking about a lot here, so I'm not going to waste a ton of time talking about that, how great it was, because that's coming up later. As you can see here, I've made this little graphic of Chuma. You can see our vacation is kind of up there in the upper left, right? He's in the clouds. He's dropping 30 like it's nobody's business. He's just balling out, right?
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, off to the right there, he starts to wake up. He realizes he's been in a dreamscape this entire time and falls back to earth, right back where he was before, sitting on the bench next to J.I. And then it becomes a little kind of shitty.
Yeah.
And you realize you're kind of right back where you're from. Because that's where I'm at. We just went and had the highest of highs. Mm-hmm. And then kind of get on that plane and go from the 80s sunny to a wet 30s in New York and just right back into the work which is
job.
garbage,
Yeah.
and just like realized, oh, I'm right back here on the bench. So it was like a nice little break from it.
Yeah.
For sure. But like once you come back, there's always that little like hangover from a trip. Not a legit one, although that did exist. But like there's always a little bit of that letdown, like, oh, I have to go back to my regular life now.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's kind of the vibe I've been on the last couple of days.
I feel you, man.
How you doing?
I'm sorry you're in a little bit of a valley right now after that high, but I experienced that.
Look, you can't when you
when you're
can't,
that high.
you can't keep it up there forever. It's bound to come down a little.
That's good perspective, Beach. Well, I'll feed off of the back home in the chilly 30s and 40 degrees Connecticut. I've got a bundled up Chuma here.
I see that.
He's got his parka on. He's ready for the snow. We had snow, which was actually pretty good news for me. It was really our first snow of the year, and I got a snow day as a teacher, so that was sweet. That was on Tuesday. Now the snow's all melted. I'm still bundled up. It's kind of freaking cold, but it's okay. I have a rocket ship here in the back because I'm actually feeling really energized right now coming off of Court Cousins night and the crazy weekend that we had. Like, I'm just, everything that you're about to see in this video right now, just trying to vibe off of that energy and carry that forward. I'm feeling a lot of momentum with the podcast and the community that's beginning to build around it. And that gets me really energized. That's why I got some fireworks going on right there. I'm actually feeling really excited, really energized right now, even though I'm having, struggles up and down at work for sure. But, yeah, I really appreciate all the warm welcomes we got down in Orlando, and I'm a really goal-driven person, as you just heard with the Patreon. I'm kind of driven on those goals. I'm driven
Goal!
on
No.
go.
Okay. Not a goal.
So I think having a new, fresh goal. Court Cousins night was something that was big for me. It was causing me some anxiety. I was hoping it was going to go well. It was freaking awesome. Smashed out of the park. Thanks everyone who came. And now with that gone, it's like, all right, next goal. And so that's kind of giving me some energy. But before we even look into the distant future, Pish, let's look at that recent past. That's the sunny week down in Florida with all you special second cousins. We hope you enjoy coming along with a trip with us.
Flight, take 2.
Second time.
Usually we nail things in the first take.
Missed our first flight. Doing nothing. Doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, we'd like to thank the whole entire staff at the Buffalo Wild Wings here in Terminal 4.
Oh, thank you. But we'll be in you soon, Orlando.
Hey, we're going to be in the emergency row too, so if people need us on this plane, we're important people now. If this thing goes down, we're going to be opening the door and helping people out.
Yep.
We'll be heroes. We got a lot of good recommendations. Looking forward to seeing a lot of second cousins on this trip. It's going to be a good time. So.
Are we beverages in or out?
Oh, we're beverages in show. We're a beverages in show. Cheers, Rob. Cheers, buddy.
backwards right now.
Okay, go get on it.
It's Ornelo.
Yeah, Ornelo. We love Ornelo.
Greetings.
Orlando.
Sorry.
We're a Beverages In show, Peach.
Beverages in show. Yeah.
Beverages In show. Cheers.
Never forget that. I'm sticking with the water because I've still got a little bit of a cold. More on that in a moment.
You got to work today. I don't. Cheers, second cousins. Cheers, Ornelo. We love you, Ornelo.
Fun fact about that end is the next day you're like, oh, we were going to go take a picture or video by that Greetings of Orlando sign. We got to do that still. I was like, bro, we did that.
Oh my God. Just from the beginning, missing the flight, hilarious. It ended up being hilarious. It could have been not that fun, but that was just ridiculous way to start the trip. And man, Court Cousins night, seeing everyone who came through, Rick doing those dance moves when he got that Paolo jersey, man, those were sick moves, Rick.
This was a man who was excited for sure.
Yeah.
He didn't need that jersey to have that kind of energy, but I'm glad he had that moment and we captured it.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was fun.
That was cool. The person before who won the first one actually had a nice reaction.
Also.
And then I thought to myself, oh man, I need to get one of these. And then Rick just stepped it up to another level.
Right.
Completely. And then everyone was like, all right, fuck
well,
it,
because when she reacted that way, I was like, this is how you react when you win a prize. So
and
she
then
set
Rick
the bar
said,
high.
hold my beer.
Yeah.
I don't know, Peach, you're about to do kind of a What I Learned Orlando edition.
Yep.
I guess I just want to thank everyone again. I've been doing a lot of thanking, but I really mean it. Raph and his girl Meg, especially, they came and grabbed us. Everyone who came to Court Cousins night, meeting up with Al before. Oh man, not pictured here, and I don't know if it's in your What I Learned, is Brian from the AC Hotel and Rooftop Bar.
Hold up.
Okay. Why don't you go into the What I Learned, and I'll just kind of comment on that. Yeah, all right. So this is kind of like a little bit of a recap. Yeah.
This is Orlando. This is a special thumbs up, thumbs down edition.
Oh.
You know, because it's all about Orlando and people learning. So there's always some good and some bad along the way. But let's do thumbs up, thumbs down. You want to play? You want to join?
I want to play. Hell yes, I want to play.
So Delta, they like to take care of their own employees no matter what. Now you'd think that'd be getting a thumbs up. Because it's good that they're good to their employees, but I'm going to give it a thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Because they gave our seats away, even though we had checked in and we were there in the airport. Nobody ever called for us or made any claims about this being last boarding for flight. Yeah. They just kind of went rogue, did their own thing, and then just said, hey, you're going to have to pay $75 to get on a later flight. Sorry.
That was crazy.
Delta, we love to you, and it shows.
We were there 15 minutes before the flight took off.
And so also the shout out, as I did in the video, to the Buffalo Wild Wings, JFK Terminal 4. Good job on those teriyaki wings. Actually not. You just soaked them in there. They sat in that batter way too long.
It's fried chicken. It took 50 minutes, I think.
It was largely responsible for this because we had to eat before we go.
Yes.
And the tots were cold. Just everything was done poorly there.
Yeah.
But we were in so early vacation mode. We were way too chill about shit.
Yeah.
To like care much.
Yeah.
But we should have cared a little bit more. It came back to bite us. All right, look, overall, downtown Orlando brings it. We're going to talk about some parts of it in here, but like a lot of people go to Orlando and you're going for the theme parks and you're hitting International Drive and you're doing all that stuff. And, you know, I get it. I get it. That's why a lot of people go. And for years, I've gone down to Orlando.
Guilty.
And the only times I've really gone downtown is to go to a Magic game. You're in, you're out. Boom, boom. And that's it. Like, you don't spend any time there. So this was really the first time that, like, you know, we were staying really in downtown.
On
and
I-4.
like being a part of seeing this area that we'd never really seen before. And I've traveled the United States quite a bit and lived in a lot of different places.
Yep.
And Orlando downtown, it goes hard. This is a big thumbs up from me.
Oh yeah, 2 thumbs up.
All the way. Good times. It's bum heavy though. Or should I say home impaired? I'm not sure what we're calling them these days. But a lot of folks panhandling.
I like that shit, though.
Yeah, sometimes it's
I'm
fun.
with that.
Sometimes it's a little like unnerving.
Well, one bum did call me a faggot and try to fight me for a second. But,
Definitely did.
As I have experience with folks that are down on their luck, like I knew how to handle it and it was fine. But that's what I like. It's got a little edginess to it.
Sure.
It's got some bougie to it in Orlando, but not
it's
enough
not
to
going to sell it to a lot of folks.
Right.
To be honest.
You're going to stay humble though, and that's important.
Well, you just got to keep moving. You got to be ready with that. I don't have any change kind of things. You got to have a few pockets
Or some
things
ones.
ready to go.
Have a few ones ready to go.
I suppose. But, just saying, clean that up a little bit.
Be ready.
Get them somewhere to be. The lack of rental cars in the area was upsetting. We were supposed to get a car on Friday, and the guy basically was just like, oh, yeah, we don't have any cars. And I felt like I was in the Seinfeld episode because I had clearly made a reservation for a car, and they didn't have one. So I don't think they understand what a reservation is. They didn't have one ever. He says, well, try calling me back in about 20, 25 minutes and see if I've got any. And so I did that like twice. He never had any. And then finally I'm just like, hey, why don't you call me when you have a car? Like, because you owe me one. And he's like, I guess we could do that. It's like, they don't care about business. They're not here for customer
What kind
service.
of rinky
They can give a crap
car
about you.
rental was that?
I don't remember what. I think it might have been Hertz. It was a legit. It was one you've heard of.
A big boy.
We ended up getting one from Budget later in the week. So
Thank you,
that
Budget.
I could
Thumbs up for
tool around
Budget.
when you were gone, but there's a lack of rental cars down there. So thumbs down on that. Court Cousins night. We just talked about Rick. He drove 2.5 hours to get there. Ian and Kyle flew over from California. Like, that's awesome. I mean, we weren't a large group, but we were a passionate group.
A mighty group.
And a mighty group, for
Yes.
sure. Indeed. And I, as far as away as we came, I appreciate people putting in the effort to be able to travel to come be a part of this special night for us. So to me, that's two big thumbs up. It'd be a third thumb if I had one. I'll go ahead and stick up my big toe down there. That's my leg thumb.
Oh, wait, feet are my thing, bro. Let me get the feet in there.
The Orlando Magic, a class act as well, with all these thanks we've given out. We didn't give a thanks by name to Jess yet.
Yes,
he was
Jess.
great in hooking us up with the Magic team sign ball to give away and the tickets, and also helped us get through security there because they had some issues with me bringing items into the game.
Right.
It was all a great time, and they were working with us to make sure that we had the things we need and our group had what we needed. And then we got to go cut the net and everything. It was just a great time.
I got mine right here.
Buzzer beating wins are very cool. This is all thumbs up stuff, by the way. You go to a game, a buzzer beating shot to win is that's the ultimate goal. We got that during this night. So couldn't
have written a better script for Court Cousins night.
Well, you could. That could have been one that didn't have to be reviewed.
True.
But come on.
Yeah.
It was
you
pretty
saw my
awesome.
reaction in the video. I was going crazy.
You running by there blindly. You were by me when they made it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I looked and you were gone.
Well, because I really thought that it was going to go into overtime. It
Yeah.
looked like it was on the cylinder. So I'm like, I'm going to beat the rush. I'm going to hit the head. And then I'm going to come back. But I was celebrating as I was going because it was still awesome.
Right.
And then as I'm going up the stairs, I hear, it is good. And I come back. Yes. It was awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
If you're going to go and have this net cutting
Experience.
thing,
Yeah.
let me just remind you, don't ask for those scissors until you get to the top of to the ladder.
Oh, that's good
They
etiquette.
will not give it to you. And they will look at you as if they do not trust you with the scissors at all. And you're lucky to be getting them when you get to the top of the ladder. They're just doing their job. But I've climbed many a ladder with many things in my hand. And I think I can handle a pair of scissors. But don't you try it. She knows what she did.
Yeah, this is very specific. That was personal.
It felt personal. She looked at me like, I'm not giving you the scissors. You get up to the top first, then I'll hand you the scissors. I'm like, I'm not fucking
I'm the height of the ladder, lady.
9 years old here. I got this. But that's fine.
It's a nice courtesy. I think.
The next night we took in the Solar Bears game.
Yeah.
A nice hockey community in Florida
Hockey,
that you may not expect, but as a man who works in rinks and arenas, it was really cool to see their presentation there in the ECHL, which is the tier just below the AHL, and the AHL is just below the NHL. So it's pretty good hockey.
Yeah,
it was
hockey.
A lot of people from the north moved down there, and then they wanted to see some hockey of some sort. So It's there.
They got it, baby.
And it's weird to see the ECHL in an arena that big because I work in an AHL facility that is considerably smaller. And I would say the crowd size is similar, though.
Yeah.
So
it didn't feel like cavernous.
Nope.
I think they covered up some seats.
They covered up the top seats and just had
So-
everybody down together. So yeah,
And it was
pretty
country
good.
night. We had a free country music. And I was like, man, I love these songs. And then Peach was like, these are all covers, bro. And I had no idea, but I still loved it.
Yeah, so he
was a good
heard
time.
Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy.
No,
and was
I
like, This
didn't.
is a new song. Holy crap, this guy's amazing.
I know that one.
Lake Eola.
Yeah.
It must stand for Lake Beautiful to mirror the city beautiful. This was the first time I actually got my eyes on it in person, which is weird because we use it as our outro screen. I've always associated that with Orlando, but never had actually seen it because, again, it's in downtown and not an area you go in. So we checked that thing out by scootering all over this town. We were scooter gang all the way.
Yes.
This is two thumbs up for scooters. And because we scooted around the lake at one point.
I
They
don't know
can get
if
a little
I remember
costly if
that.
you're going far, but
Yes.
you know what? For quick, short trips right around
Fantastic.
downtown,
Ugh.
perfect, man. They get you where you need to be. Next up, the AC Rooftop Bar is majestic as all get out. And go ahead and do yourself a favor and get up there. I'd seen that building for a few years and seen the pillar area and thought, oh, this must just be some rich guy's deck. But this is apparently a place we can go. So Al from Ozone Podcast said to meet him up there, and we did. You want to go into a little bit more of the experience up there?
Yeah, no, it's gorgeous, nice overlook of the stadium, and I'm getting my tequila and Peach's whiskey, and a gentleman helps out, and then another gentleman comes over, asks the drink. I told him the other guy was helping us, but I gave it to him again, and then a moment later, he comes back with the drinks, says, "Don't worry about it, it's on the house. Thanks for what you're doing." I'm like, how the hell does this guy know I'm a teacher? I'm in Connecticut. Like, what does he mean? And then, of course, I put two to two together. This is a second cousin right here.
Right.
This is a second cousin who's making up these beverages for us.
I was wearing my court cousin's shirt on purpose to
That
see
helps.
if we could.
That
I
helps.
think it helps, yeah.
And so that was a really nice interaction. Shout out to Brian. Thank you so much for your hospitality and your generosity, sir. And then we turned around, and lo and behold, there was another court cousin's second cousin out there, just hanging out with him and his boys and some of their ladies.
Yep.
And we took in the beautiful view and hung out, and it was a good time.
You interviewed him for, I believe, what's coming up later as well.
And I can't remember his name right now, so I'm
I took
sorry,
some-
but I remember a lot of things about him.
I took some pictures up there that were pretty amazing. Like all three other arenas are kind of lined up with the football stadium being furthest away, and then the soccer pitch, I believe they call it.
Oh, nice, Peach.
Even though they never actually like take a ball and throw it.
That's
like-
confusing. You're
like
right.
This I don't get, but anyway, it's pitch. And then Amway being right there, so it's pretty cool. And the
Yeah.
sunset up there was, I mean, it's hard to put into words. Luckily, we
Got my
pictures.
panties wet for sure.
Yeah, great place to take a date.
Oh man, you're getting in on the first date there.
There
If
wasn't
you
even
go
a
there,
cover. Like you just go.
It seemed a lot. It seemed like a good experience. We had jerseys on, so I didn't think they'd let us in an establishment like that. But they did.
Yeah.
And we got hooked up.
I think all you have to do is have money and a pulse, and they're like, bring it on up. So I suggest going. Check it out. During that second game, the Magic did not show up against the Pacers. That has to get a big thumbs
That
down.
does have to get a thumbs down. You're right.
It was probably the biggest bummer, I would say, of the entire trip was the performance of the squad in this game.
Yeah, it's interesting because I wasn't even bummed. I'm sure that you're going to talk about a couple other things that went down that night.
Yep.
But I think that speaks to, and that's why I'm so grateful for everyone out there listening and right now and watching, that we are building this little community, this second cousin family here. And even though we lost, we did the pack openings with Al and his crew with some NBA hoops that I'd bought at the team shop after I picked up this sexy Duvin Hawaiian vibe shirt here. So we did that. We were hanging out with them. We had done the rooftop bar before. We met some new people, made some new friends. I freaking interviewed Markelle freaking Petrus, kid. Are we serious right now? A legend?
Yep.
I mean, this doesn't happen. It reminds me of, like, even when you go out to the bar and your team loses, when you're with your boys, when you're with people that you enjoy being around with, the loss happened, but I had a damn good time that night.
Yeah.
And
sure. For sure.
It's just beautiful, the community that exists in Orlando. I highly recommend. There's energy around the team. Go check them out live.
Yeah, you just mentioned him, Markelle Petrus. He gets 2 thumbs up. Drunk Kyle is a special kind of dude, and to agree to appear on camera with him and a microphone, I mean, I'm guessing an agent probably would have advised against it, but Markelle threw caution to the wind and said, I am going to take a shot on this kid. And he made his day. So thanks to him for doing that. Man, do they love their soccer in Orlando?
Yes.
And I got to tell you, I'm giving it a thumbs down.
No!
I'm sorry. I'm giving it a thumbs down.
Giving it a thumbs
I
up.
know you guys love your soccer, but the Magic were playing a home game that we needed, and a lot of you chose to go over and watch them soccer it up. And it's like, big deal, man.
Piche.
So what? That means they got a whole bunch of season left. The Magic need you now. You should choose the Magic first, and soccer comes second.
Yes, Piche.
Sorry.
Yeah,
that's my feelings on it. I'm not anti it.
No.
You know, Vamos Orlando and all that noise. I'm here for it. I hear it's quite the experience, and honestly, I'd like to take in a game sometime.
We want to go.
But I would never go to a game if the Orlando Magic have a game at the same time.
Yes.
So
we've got
that's just
morals.
my thoughts on it.
Yachty,
But
I'm looking at you, you bastard.
go Orlando. You know I got a hat. Come on now. Big fan. U.S. Open Cup champs. Come on. Collecticon we went to was pretty cool. The convention center was impressive.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they had that many things going on in the same building where like people on one side didn't even know about this huge Collecticon going on the far side. The Yin Yang twins were there, by the way, for some reason.
Horrible. I mean,
very weird.
Yeah, the acoustics were shite.
It was weird in a lot of ways. I'm not a big anime guy. I don't understand a lot of that world. So a lot of that convention was kind of lost on me.
Right.
But it's still interesting to cruise around and see it. I did get a pop or two. And we did find there were some sports cards going on
4
there.
or 5 card vendors.
We hit them up pretty hard, and that was a good time. We got some good deals.
We got our money's worth for sure.
We definitely both got a Kareem Maine autographed card.
Hell yes.
Woo, yes. Google him. I'm sure the only person who knows about him is Orlando Magic player history. Of course, I'm sure he already has that card.
Shout out to Jay. I think my favorite card, I showed it in the video, was that Jalen Suggs 9.5.
That is a beauty.
Rookie auto.
That is a beauty.
What was your favorite card?
My favorite card was my Markelle Fultz rookie card, auto on card, numbered 5 of 25.
For like, how much did you get that for?
I think I got it for $15. So
That's
I feel like that is a
absurd.
great card. There aren't a lot of on-card autos anymore, and it is nice.
Yeah.
So big fan of that.
Well done.
Let's see what else we got here. Where am I? I lost my spot. There it is. The weather. It was cherry. Unbelievable. 80s and sunny the whole time. Might have been even 90s when we first got there. I didn't see a drop of rainfall. I did see a little bit of cloud coverage on Tuesday before I left, but right before I stepped outside to return my rental car, that thing went away and was like, "Oh, we got to hold off just a little longer. We're trying to sell this guy on the Sunshine State with just a heaping load of it." And that's amazing because last time we went, it was a little cold and drab, and I think I wore pants to a game. That was terrible. Pants are awful. I didn't wear pants the entire trip, and I loved it.
Peach is very anti-pant.
I'm anti-pant.
So
yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I wear them because you have to here.
Yes.
I need the coverage, but I prefer shorts at all times. I hit the Checkers.
Okay.
Well, after you were gone.
Good. Thank you.
Because I know that you're not a big fan of that, but I'm a big fan of that. And it was cool. My hotel after you left was on International Drive, which is sort of the hub of all the tourist stuff.
Okay.
And we don't do that stuff a lot. I mean, we didn't go to a theme park this time or anything like that. So this was a nice little taste of the tourist experience and seeing a gift shop everywhere where Disney shirts are $5. And, it's just, that's part of Orlando as well.
Hell yeah.
It's just the outskirts. So it was nice to see
the
a little
mouse.
bit of that.
Respect the mouse.
I did have a cold, though, as you can probably hear a little bit in my voice. It is still on the way out. That kind of shut me down on Sunday, so I didn't get to go to the XFL game, which is sad, but
they got their ass kicked. So
it is what it
is.
is. It would have been cool to see as an experience,
Yep.
and I feel like I kind of lost the day just kind of resting and getting myself back together there.
It's a bummer, bro. I'm
so that's a
sorry.
big thumbs down, but it's hard to blame anybody on that one. And of course, I got to give a big thumbs down to leaving because I couldn't find where to return the rental car, and by the time I got to the gate, they were already boarding. I'm like, I'm not leaving the gate now. Like,
no,
not after the problem we have on the way there. So I'm like, I'm standing here. So I was super hungry on the plane. They give me this little bag of Sun Chips. I'm like, I got to make this last. So I just put them in my mouth, got sucked on them. I was like,
letting him
sustenance.
Letting him disintegrate
Normally
in your
I'm
mouth.
a little more prepared with like some snacks and stuff in my bag, but didn't have a chance to get them when I got there.
Right.
Or even refill
Fear of missing the plane. Yeah.
Stuff.
I'm traumatized.
But overall, I mean, it's a thumbs up all the way around. This was This was a way to set the bar that's very, very high. We'll ask you about this more later, but it's just a fantastic trip all the way around. You've seen video of it. And you're going to continue to hear more about it as we go through the show.
Yeah.
Some of our feeding exploits.
Amen.
Did you feel like there's anything there that I missed that you learned?
No,
that you
dude,
really
no.
need to
I just
throw
want to
in?
say we want to do it again next year. We want to be down there more often, doing it bigger and better with you all, just creating more opportunities for us to come together, support the squad that we love, and, just support each other too. So, man, I'm just already pumped for next year. I want to try to get down maybe 2 times next year, Peach.
Okay. Hashtag magic together, baby.
It's a little bit of a goal. Yeah, hell yeah.
All right.
So from Court Cousins night, this is a good transition into the social media roundup, that segment of this show where we scour the interwebs for your posts about our beloved Orlando Magic that we find intriguing, insightful, or maybe just downright hilarious. And the first one is a nice bridge from Peach's What I Learned about Court Cousins night. We've got it from Yachty, none other than our boy there. Magic basketball with the second cousins. We've got Yachty there, Jerry, you, Rick, and me in this frame, just having a damn good time.
And Corey on that phone.
Oh yes, that's right. That's freaking hilarious, man.
I was checking. I was getting a better shot of the fit.
Yeah, you
Gotta
got
check in.
Yeah,
that's normal.
important.
That's normal game stuff for me.
Right.
I just happened to be in the arena today.
Yeah.
As he was taking this picture, so I just was like, all right, I'll put her in the group shot. It's the closest I came to getting a picture with her.
She did reply to your tweet on
the next game.
the Saturday game.
Yep.
That we were in the building in that section. She said duly noted.
Yeah.
She did not come by,
Nope.
but
Might have come
I
by when we
think-
weren't there. I'm like,
Speaking of the growth flower,
yeah,
I think seeds are planted,
right.
and I think that they're being watered.
Yeah.
And maybe next time
Yeah.
we can see something come out of the soil.
I'm here for this because I'm here for the long haul.
Yeah.
I'm looking for LTR, my guy.
Oh my God. But yeah, again, what a crew just hanging out. That was some of the people. We weren't all seated directly next to each other.
Nope.
Next year, we're going to do kind of waves of it. So first wave is going to be like, get your tickets right now, mother sucker. And that will ensure that we're kind of all together in that first group. And then we'll kind of, if you
Right.
want to jump on for the group sales and all that stuff, you still can, but you might not be with the nucleus of the crew.
Yeah, but we were all still relatively all in the same area.
I was able to
enough that you
drunkenly
could turn around and kind of be like, we're all right there.
A few handful of rows away.
There
It
was some
was-
Pistons fans that worked their way into our area, which I was
That's
very
true.
unpleased with.
It was not cool.
Yeah.
There was a whole family, but go check out our Pistons game recap for more on that, because that was fun.
It's cool. We travel 1,000 miles to watch a home game and get sat next to fans of the other team.
Thumbs down.
Yeah, that was a sarcastic thumbs up. I hope you know.
Someone else that was in the building, and I forgot to get my yearly picture with him because I got one on the first time that we went down there last year.
So once before.
Once, yeah, was Jake Chapman. And he tweeted this about our boy Gary Harris. I don't have anything but my eyes to support this, but Gary Harris has defended his ass off out of the All-Star break. He's been more like Gary Harass. And Peach, you...
I had to reply with,
Yeah.
I'm so jealous I didn't come up with this joke myself. Bravo.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff I do.
It's a very
here.
Peach joke, yeah.
So
Yep.
and I like to see that Chapman's on that wavelength.
Your kindred spirits, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we should get him on the show for a dad joke off.
Now we're thinking, put it in the comments if you want a dad joke off. Peach and Jake Chapman. Let's go. You heard it here first. Well, that's fun. That's very lighthearted.
Yes.
That's uplifting.
Okay.
Something that hasn't been very uplifting, Peach, is our three-point shooting.
Oh.
Many of us in the Magic community have been quite chagrined.
It is getting dark in here. You just feel that, like, you didn't hit a sound effect, but
No.
I heard the thunder roll and was like,
Yeah,
we better
where
get
is-
inside.
Where do I still have it here? No, damn it.
That's a train. That's a whole different thing.
There it
It
is.
is.
So this is at Magic Street Talk. Can we please face the fact this team can't shoot threes? Statistically, they've been at the bottom all year. This isn't a shoot till it goes in issue. This is a we can't shoot, so go to the rack issue.
Right.
Coach, adjust, please. Players, stop jacking them. Hashtag Magic Together. And then he
Yeah,
continues.
All right, you go ahead. Yeah,
Sorry.
finish it up. No, finish it up.
My
finish
bad.
it up.
Jeff Turner said, Quote, "Three ball isn't working. I would like to see a few more paint touches," end quote. "This isn't new for this team. We want the play-in. We got to play inside out." I like that little kind of pun, the wordplay there. "Too often we settle for outside shots. There is no Shaq anymore in today's game. Go to the hole." Magic together.
Yeah, he hit this on the nose, and part of the reason I pulled this one out is you can feel the passion. I think we've all written tweets like this where we're in heat of the moment, like watching this, and every time the Magic seem to be losing and then just starting to settle for the three ball, and particularly when they shoot them early in the shot clock, which I know you hate, and also when they shoot them and no other man is not in the paint, not inside the three-point line. Like there's not even a chance of a rebound or anything else happening on this play. Like that is settling on a garbage level that like our team is better than that. Like when guys are moving and we have flow and we're trying to get to the hoop. But I'd like to quote Draymond Green, who was talking about Russell Westbrook in a recent game, saying, he left him wide open all game, just aggressively letting him shoot. And he's like, you're taught if you're open to shoot. But the thing is, a lot of these threes that are going up, they're not open. They're not Russell Westbrook open, like I've got to take this. Now, look, sometimes they are, and they shoot them, and I'm fine with that. Sometimes they're just kind of like forcing it up or shooting a contested one because they just feel like they're bored or they didn't feel like running a play this time down the court. That's what it feels like or looks like to us. But I'm never for shooting up a three when no one's inside. Like there's just no need for that. It's silly, and I think this encompasses a lot of the Magic fans' feelings and vibes around when that starts happening. Because that's not when we're at our best. If the threes are falling, we're lucky.
Yeah. Yep.
So do what your strength is.
It is tough because the modern game is all about the 3-point shot, whether we like it or not. And I know the old man does not like it, and your boy, the Red Lettuce, doesn't really always enjoy it either because I think it takes an exciting element of rim play, of post game, kind of out of the game, and maybe we can make some adjustments. We talked about that earlier to some of the rules to bring post play back, and it is a little odd because we are constructing this team that is a paint dominant team. So at some point, we're going to need some reconstruction, or guys are going to have to become better 3-point shooters. As a team this year, we're shooting 34.6% from beyond the arc. And you and I know that has been buoyed by a few really good nights.
Yeah.
And most of the others have been craters where we're like sniffing around the 30% mark.
I was going to say that stat feels
higher.
Incorrect. It feels high.
Yeah. So I hear what you're saying there, Magic Street Talk. I share your pain for all the reasons Pich just talked about. I don't think it gets better. It doesn't get better this year. This is an off-season thing to adjust on, or maybe it's just challenging our guys to grow into it, or becoming more dominant at the things we're already really good at. And that means in the paint. But it is going to be interesting about... I
don't want to make it seem like I don't like the three ball, because I do.
Yeah.
It's a big part of the game. It's a big part of the reason I love the game. I mean, for the three for the Orlando Magic has been, since the 3D era has been a huge part of what we do here. Yep. So I want to find a way to balance it, but we don't really have those shooters at this point. But as Magical Takes points out, it's always funny watching these highlights or watching the real team build a house. Seems like every time we saw RJ Hampton or Houston, excuse me,
they were making them.
They're making threes down in Lakeland. Yeah. And we're kind of up here going, and even if we want to go back to the Devin Kennedy days, we've had some guys that shoot the ball. Yeah. Right? Like at one point, T. Ross used to be really, really good at threes. And like all those guys are either kind of gone or didn't get minutes or weren't put in a position to succeed with the three ball. So to me, honestly, it feels like Gary Harris is probably our most reliable 3-point shooter.
And Caleb Houston,
who will shoot a few a day.
And he doesn't.
But Caleb's not getting the minutes for me to feel that way. Yeah. But I
last
feel like
game he got some minutes, and he was quick on the trigger, which I like to see. Get him some more minutes. I did look it up on Cleaning the Glass because that stat on Basketball Reference didn't feel great to me. Here on Cleaning the Glass, it says we're shooting 32% from all threes this year, and that's best for 24th in the league. To your point, we don't need to be, top tier in shooting threes because our game is clearly not that. But let's get to, top half of the league. 15th right now is Houston at 34%. That's easily doable for us next year. I think if we're shooting 36, 37% next year, we'll be fine. And I think we actually do have the pieces on this team to do that next year, as guys progress. So I'm not super worried about it, but it is something that keeps coming up.
I think if we're going to hit the next level at some point, like the championship level, we need a sharp shooter who's just a professional shooter. And we don't have that right now.
Okay.
Whether one of our guys develops into him or we get one, but that's a few years away. But even for next year, I'd like to see us add somebody who's going to be a shooter. I'm not 100% sure we have that guy on our team, on our roster right now.
I think it could be Caleb.
Could be.
Yeah. But hey, let's bring in a few and see the cream rise.
Yeah, let them battle it out because competition always sort of brings the best out in people.
Sharpens the steel.
And
steel sharpens steel.
We'll talk about that in a few minutes. I have a similar point with Mr. Bol.
Well, we might have buried the lead a little bit, Piche, because probably the biggest news right now, sadly, in the Orlando Magic community, is that Jonathan Isaac has gone down with season-ending surgery. I believe it's on his adductor, which is kind of in your hip groin area. The abductor and the adductor, they're kind of opposite sides. I tore my abductor once, lifting weights and then going and playing beach volleyball, and it had me not even able to get up out of bed for like a week. And I really didn't heal fully for about 3-4 months, but he's gotten surgery on it. So I don't know if that will speed things up. But here we have Anthony at Orlando Magic HQ. Make sure you go check their stuff out. I love them for breaking news, man. They've got a whole Orlando Magic platform going right now with their podcast, of course, but with the photo, the video, the articles, everything they're doing.
They have plenty of time to gather news because Anthony never goes and attends any of the Orlando Magic games. But that's why I get all my news from them because they're checking it out.
Yo, Al and Piche are going in on Anthony. Anthony, don't take this disrespect, dog.
We've seen 3 Magic games and we live in Connecticut. Okay, 3. He's been to 1.
Wait, in Orlando?
Yeah. Well, we went to 2 in Orlando. And we saw 1 in New York.
Oh, we didn't go to the Brooklyn game?
No.
Oh, all right.
Not this year. You went last year.
I'm casual about that. Well, Anthony, our boy, says J.I. had season-ending injury after being out for 2.5 years and barely playing 10 minutes a game for 11 appearances. It's hard not to feel like we've seen the last of Jonathan Isaac in a Magic uniform.
Listen, if you've been watching the show, you know I've been using I wanted to build a relationship with Jonathan Isaac because I was really unfamiliar with him.
Absent father.
And he was the absent father who went away, and he left the family when I was 9. And he came back when I was, 11 or 12.
12.
And he wants to build a relationship. And, he was back for a few weeks and we had a good time.
My God, dude.
We were throwing the ball in the yard. He brought me a birthday gift, and it was like, we're starting to really kind of get somewhere here. And then he was like, all right, let me go get you some stuff. We're going to make some cake later. And he went to the store
to get the cake,
and he's gone again. And so luckily he wasn't here long enough for me to really get invested in it. He's just out. And I'm sorry that his career is gone this way, but some careers just can't be there. The body's just not meant for the NBA or whatever sport it is you're playing. We've seen plenty of good careers cut down, like Brandon Roy, Greg Oden. I'm sorry, I'm only naming Blazers, but those are the first 2 that come to my mind because I feel like they had potential to be really, really great. And I feel like the Magic community and we feel like Isaac could hit some high highs, but just can't stay healthy and stay on the court. So luckily he's got other things to fall back on. He has his faith, which I'm sure will keep him in positive spirits. But for Magic fans, I think we're just kind of like, he's not here anymore. Like, we can't keep pretending that he's going to show up and be able to play. I like guys. I'm the complete opposite because I love guys that can play 80 games a season. There's 82 games. I give you 2 sick days. I want you to be able to play 80 games a season. If you're a guy that only gives me like 50, I'm not that into you. Like, I need guys that are healthy and can be durable. So he's like the opposite of what I like in a player because he can't get more than 11 games this season in the past 3. So it's unfortunate, but that's why I'm not investing in Isaac jerseys. But
I don't know what to do. I'm just throwing up my hands. Please.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do is it's just like he does this thing. But I'm not going to do the offseason again where I expect him to come back at the beginning of it and be a part of this team.
You're right.
I'm not doing it.
You're right. And I have to, again, adjust my expectations. It's tough because there's always this nagging little voice in the back of my head that sees what Jonathan Isaac can bring and saw it for 11 games and saw it before he went down 2.5 years ago and thinks that little voice keeps whispering,
Sure.
That's a guy that could put you over the top.
Uh-huh.
That's a guy whose defense could be huge on a championship run.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's tough to quiet that voice.
I know, but here's the thing, man. I used to be able to go to parties, do keg stands, rip beers and shots all night, keep the party going 4 or 5 a.m. all day. I can't do that anymore.
You're right.
Times have changed. People change. Things have changed. I need to get into your head.
Okay.
Go find that guy with that little voice and just smother him with a pillow so that you can move on with your days.
I just have a visual of Pich smothering a little thought man.
It's for everyone's good. So it's a mercy kill.
The important perspective that came out, I don't know, sometime this past offseason was the contract stuff with Jonathan Isaac. And this is, again, at Magic HQ. Important to keep in mind as we digest the Jonathan Isaac news, his 2023-24 contract is only guaranteed for $7.6 million because I guess he hasn't hit the games played threshold, and his his contract will be fully guaranteed on 1/10/2024. So that's, I don't know exactly what the ramifications are on that now that I'm reading that out loud.
Okay.
Does that mean we have to, so he's going to get $17 million in 2024 if we don't,
right. If things don't change before then.
Yeah.
So I would imagine he will be waived because it's just a money saver.
But we have him next year on $7.6 million. Is that what I'm reading here?
Right. That starts next season because this is 2024. That's in next season. So if he makes it that far into the season
playing,
then he gets that.
Oh, okay.
But if he doesn't,
it's only 7.6 on the books.
Yeah, and that's how much is off our salary cap is the 7.6. So it's not a ton for us to risk having it there.
Got it.
But once you get to that point, it's sort of like, this could be wasted money. So I don't know if they're going to just do that as a goodwill thing or and
then send him in,
cut him and then re-sign him to a. Someone suggested cutting him and signing him to a prove it deal, which I think is a great move. Allow him to have that opportunity to prove it. And then even if he doesn't fit in with whatever we're building now, then you can move him to somebody else and he'll be on a team friendly deal. So he would have value at that point. Whereas right now he doesn't have any value as a trade piece or anything on the court. It's just, there's nothing there. So might as well save the funds. I would imagine that's probably going to come before that point, because that's a lot of money to spend on someone who's not playing.
Yeah.
Unless the adductor is something simple and he really is going to be back, but I don't believe any of that shit that I hear now at this point. I just don't believe any of it. It's bananas. Adductor minus ductor. I don't care what you're doing with your ductors.
It's an adductor.
Can you play basketball? I mean, it's just weird.
Yeah. It's
too bad.
It sucks to see, man, because he has a lot of potential and he could be a difference maker on this team, but we can't count on him. And it will be interesting to see. I like that suggestion. I guess that's the fair path forward, right? If he's been, getting this $17 million for this past couple of years, you would hope that as an acknowledgement to the team, maybe we can meet somewhere in the middle.
The team has stood by him while he did this whole thing. I imagine there's got to be some
through
goodwill
thick
here.
and thin,
right?
Because he's taken a lot of shit in the public sphere, and the team has supported him the entire way.
Yep. And
I think it would be a good gesture to try to find something that would make sense for him to stay on this roster,
right?
And to try on this roster. And if you can't, then you can't,
right?
But give us that, please, J.I.
He needs to have the opportunity to do something so that some other team is going to take that chance on him. So he still needs to prove he can make that comeback. I thought it was going to happen right now, but no.
I know.
So
I know. Okay. All right. Well, that's tough news, but someone who's a little bit polarizing is a guy who I don't know how I quite feel about him right now.
Okay.
I'm going to express my thoughts in real time here on this show in just a moment.
Okay.
It's Bol Bol.
Yep.
And I did a simple thing. Jay did all the work at Orlando ORL Magic History. He tweeted, the Orlando Magic continue to ride the bowler coaster as the man with the shortest name in franchise history. That's a fun fact. Guess it makes sense. Recently passed the man with the longest name in franchise history, Michael Carter-Williams, who's now back on the roster. In field goals made, hashtag Magic Together. I simply retweeted that, and I said, how we feeling about Bol these days? I got a plethora of responses, and thank you so much for all your interaction out there. People came through with their takes, and they were all good, but one conversation in particular was bouncing back between Tuvia at It's All Mental and Magic24 at 0 June 2 0123. Sorry. Oh, I get that now. Way to go, Kyle. Tuvia said, a couple things bother me after the initial honeymoon. He doesn't rebound or use his length as well down low. He doesn't shoot the open three and opts to drive when it's unnecessary. His highlights are great, but he's a net negative overall. And I kind of felt a lot of the things he was saying, like some frustration with not using the size. And so I said, this rings true and has me worried about Bol Bol's future. Magic 24/7 putting in some important adversarial points on here, some important counterpoints.
They're not Magic 23-6.
That's true. And Magic 24/7 is a great follow, always has some really insightful numbers to back up their ideas. He says, not to me. He's not a big. He's a very long wing, and that's the role he plays, and he's basically a rookie. He impacts D on the perimeter, leads the Magic in three-pointers contested, and makes opponents shoot negative 1.3 below their usual percentage. Plus, he's a better rebounder than some think, and he has the numbers here to back that up. It shows that Bol Bol is a plus defender in terms of defending the three-point line, and he's actually kind of a minus defender inside the paint. And he has the rebound numbers. He's third in terms of rebound percentage on the team. I guess second because the number one guy there was Jonathan Isaac. Magic 24/7 and Tuvia go on to kind of debate this issue, whether or not Bol is kind of a net positive or a net negative. But I just kind of wanted to get your take on it, Pich, as to where you are with your Bol Bol love right now.
Well, I still like Bol Bol, but I think I'm with 24/7 on this. I just feel like you look at Bol and you immediately feel like center.
Yeah.
Right? But he's not, okay? He's a wing
guard.
or a guard in his dad's body, the center's body.
Yeah.
You have to kind of look at him as like he's not, Wendell and Moritz. He's not going to be down there. He does other things. But I think the key part of this that he said, which is getting lost in all the magical stats and all the stats that will never appear on the back of a basketball card, is that he's basically a rookie still. He has not played a lot to be able to learn some of this stuff, and I feel like it's still too early to give up on Bol Bol. Like I think he's got to find his space in this game, and now that J.I.'s not there, there's going to be more minutes for Bol Bol to explore that stuff. He seemed like he was shutting down a little bit as Isaac came back because his minutes were shrinking, and it felt like he had to compete. And I think now he's going to comfortably be able to get some more minutes in there. And I think an offseason with the team they'll be able to find a way to use him down the road. His expectations aren't high. Remember, we didn't give up much to get him. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot invested here. He's doing still more than a player making his money or whatever we gave up to get him or asking what we're asking for him from the bench would normally giving. So I am still pro Bol Bol.
That's fair, and that's good context. There's no risk here.
Yes.
There's no risk. There's no risk. I do think the other side of this is my hopes were high for Bol, especially out of the gate with what we saw from him. We did see a dynamic player on the offensive side, and I think it is frustrating to see, as you said, a guard in his dad's body. He's really more about being a two guard, perhaps, or even a point guard at times, than a big man. And you see those physical gifts not really being applied in the way that I would expect them to, where I would expect him down low to be a good defender.
Okay, but you know what you're doing again?
Yeah.
You're Mo Bambaing him.
Yeah.
Right?
That's fair.
Because we all looked at Mo Bamba and we're like, oh man, use that big body, do this, do that.
Well,
and he's not doing it. And look, hey, I got the same vibes when I'm watching Bol Bol. I'm like, my God, you should be taking over. You should be the Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Magic right now and just dominating the league. But he doesn't quite. He's young.
This is the thing, though, Peach. Two things on that. If he's not a big okay, then he plays like a guard or a wing. But he cannot defend guards.
He cannot.
So therein lies the
Not right
problem. If you're going to be a guard or a wing, you got to sit down and you got to defend those guys. You can hear Jamal telling Coach Mosley telling anytime Bol's guy gets the ball, sit down, get down, because he's no fault of his own. The man's center of gravity is above my head. Mm-hmm. So it's very difficult for him to guard a fast first step type of guard on the perimeter, and we see him getting blown by a lot with high hips.
For sure.
And
he tries to make up for it with his length, which is like when you're playing a little kid, sometimes you're like, you let him go by and then you still block their shot and you're like, ha, ha, ha. And then it's like, but he can't rely on that in the NBA level because these guys know how to score.
And I don't know a lot about NBA basketball in terms of the X's and O's of it, right?
Okay, yeah.
But I've learned that, on offense, you're always just trying to gain slight advantage over the defense. Mm-hmm. You're trying to make them start rotating and leaving their man early. And if at the point of attack, Bol is getting blown by 8 out of 10 times, then all of a sudden now our defense immediately, anytime Bol's guy gets the ball, now we're switching, now we're rotating, now they have the advantage. And that becomes problematic if he's not making up for it on the offensive side. Because at the beginning of the year, we were seeing bigger stat lines for him because Bol was thriving in kind of that chaotic, no rotation, almost pickup style basketball that we were playing. But now that we've got more steady guys back, and the rotations are more set in stone, and we're playing more set basketball, to be fair to Coach Mosley, we're doing more offensive sets and things like that. He's kind of struggling to fall into a strict offensive style of play. So that's all. I'm just worried. But hey, it's very low risk, low reward. I don't know exactly what his contract is, but it's nothing big. So it's no big deal for next year. Hopefully he'll still be on the roster. It is a team option, so there's a possibility that he doesn't come back. I'd like to see him back one more year.
Absolutely. I don't think. I mean, I never saw Bol as being a starter. I saw him maybe being a role player, and that's what he is. And I don't lose a lot of sleep over role players. He's great. I like him. I know he's a highlight reel, and that kind of offsets the stuff that's bad that people don't see. So I'm glad that you brought up his defense because that is a very glaring issue. But he can correct some of these stuff. And, this is his first full season as being part of a team and getting to play with them. Yeah. And I think there's a lot to be learned there. Not everybody's Paolo Banchero or Shaquille O'Neal out the gate.
For sure.
Some people got to play a little bit and learn styles. So he's going to be fine.
There's hope about him. There's hope yet for Bol Bol.
Sure.
All right. Well, that's social media roundup. Let us know. Anytime you see something interesting out there on the interwebs, throw us an @court_cousins on Twitter and Instagram. If we like it, if we get a laugh out of it, if we're scratching our beards over it, hey, maybe it'll end up on the show. Mm-hmm. So thanks for making our jobs easier. Well, we said it's a packed show, Peach, and it is, and we have a new segment right now. We're calling it 5 with a Fan. It's a working title. We're not sure. I kind of like it. It's has a ring to it. But is 5 enough? I don't know. You like?
What about dozen with a second cousin? It rhymes.
We love a good rhyme here, but I think a dozen minutes is a little too much. We want to do this in every single episode. So 5 with a Fan, or because it's second cousins, maybe 5 with the family. I don't know. Let us know in the comments. You got a good name that rhymes, and maybe there's some alliteration in it. Let us know.
5 for family. Yeah. Okay.
This edition is a special Orlando Magic edition where we've got a bunch of second cousins for 5 minutes here. I asked them, what do they think about the chances in the play-in? Is it something that they're after? And also, what do they think, or what do they feel we're going to be doing with those 2 draft picks this offseason? Check it out, everybody.
Thanks for everything, homie. Picking us up. Random strangers off the street. That was very nice of you.
No problem, man. No problem. Looking forward to it. We talked about it a little bit, so it's fun, man.
He says the lighting is great.
It's been fun.
Yeah. So you're looking at it on a season, as a season-ending number, you'd be happy with 30, because that's a big improvement. 8 games.
It's a big improvement. We hit more than 22 wins. It's already a win.
You're thinking long-term with
it's
this.
already a win. We have already won, bro. We have already gotten to We've already beaten last year, so we're happy. Let's make sure our guys are healthy, they stay sharp. But let's give some guys some reps. Let's see what Caleb's got. Let's see what Chuma's got. Let's see what Isaac's got. Those are all decisions we're going to have to make anyway. Don't spend no money on Fred VanVleet or any of these other players that you're just going to take away minutes from someone else. Let's be homegrown. You know what I mean? Let's not be one of these guys.
I love that too.
Let's be homegrown.
That feels better, right?
You know what I mean? Look at these guys.
I know. Look at these guys.
man. Like,
This is what we're talking about, right?
Let's be.
If those can be the guys that
the
elevate,
guys, man. I love Wendell too, man. Like,
that's so much better feeling.
that shit gets me
as
hyped
a
talking
team.
about the Magic, dude. So.
As a team, I'm feeling it
Let's
right
go
now
right.
too, Raph.
I wanna have
I'm
a good
getting
game.
ready.
Let's have a
Let's
good
go.
game. Let's have a good game.
I guess if I really think about it, my wet dream would be to make the play-in.
Yeah.
Because, like, at this point, like, more talent is needed, but a maturation of the talent we currently have is worth more than bringing in a new stud with A-plus potential who couldn't, maybe not jive.
Nothing.
Yeah, or doesn't jive with the guys that we already got. Maybe he wants to be the guy, and we already have guys who kind of are the guy.
So you believe in Paolo and Franz, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
I do too.
I believe in that. I'm a 6-time fantasy champ in the last, 2 years.
Illegal. He's a criminal. Get him, Florida. Get him. He's gambling.
I'm not doing it locally. We're just here for the video.
He crosses the state borders. Don't
We're
worry.
just here for the video.
He goes out on a boat just into Cuban waters, so that's okay.
International, baby. So we gotta do that down here.
I know tonight he's putting up 30.
We're trying that.
Paulo.
Wow.
30.
He's confident. I like it.
Detroit's weak. They beat us twice. We're going to sweep them the rest of the series. So the rest of the season, I'm feeling good.
I like that confidence, man, because Paolo, that's the only thing. He went into the All-Star break not shooting it well.
But we don't need to talk about the three-point shots that we had.
I'm not going to talk about that.
No.
One for – oh, shit, I already talked about it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Damn it. See, this is why I can't be on camera right now, Blair.
I'm trying to get things in order down here. I'm trying. I can be hopeful and say we can sniff it, but realistically, I think Washington, Chicago,
Those teams don't want to lose.
well, they're all trying to compete, especially because we have Chicago's pick. We pretty much own Chicago at this point.
Yeah, I mean, right.
So I think we started off 4-15 or something like that at the beginning of the season. So I think it might be out of our reach.
Yeah.
But next year we're going to be good. We're going to be complete. We're going to start off not with 4 wins.
Yes.
We'll be good. We'll be good.
Yes. So what do you want to do with Aussie with those 2 picks? Are we going to take both of them? Are we going to what do you want us to do?
I hope we don't take both of them because that means I feel like some of our core, someone's probably going to get moved then because we only have so many spots.
Yeah.
I know everyone wants us to draft a guard too.
Yep.
Even though I like our guard core personally. Yeah, so we're blessed to have depth.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's a tough blessing,
But someone gets squeezed out.
someone will.
And I love the way that Jalen Suggs has been playing lately.
He's finally starting to turn it on. It's been a little scary, a little questionable.
Yeah.
He's had a little bit of injury, some tunnel vision.
Right.
But
He's in his rookie year, technically, in terms of games.
So he's starting to figure it out more. And I like Cole Anthony. His on and off switch has been turned on.
It's staying on.
It's been
Let's
staying
keep it on tonight, baby.
Yes. So if he keeps that up, then I don't really want a new guard. I'm happy with who we got.
And you can't be the personality of Cole.
You can't. Well, that's why he's my favorite. I mean, he's the favorite. He has to be the favorite. Cole Anthony.
He's not
50.
fucking around.
No.
Yes. We have 23 games left, Yada. What are you thinking on wins? What are you thinking on win totals?
All right. So on this one, I'm just going for the home run.
Okay. I like it.
15-8. Why not?
Play in, baby.
Why not?
Why not us? Why not now?
Why not?
Season,
We
right?
started what? 5-20 was it? Was something stupid.
Yeah. I think that's right.
And then we did this turnaround, so why not finish strong?
I think I'm a steal from Philip, the godfather here a little. I think missing the play game by half a game is honestly a good thing because we kind of need that pain maybe. You know what I mean? Kind of just that disappointment will kind of fuel the fire, and knowing that we're right there, I think will kind of maybe motivate the team to work throughout the summer. Long story short, I think as long as we're healthy, we've proven we're a 500 team. With the new draft lottery, even at 4 and 5, we have pretty good odds. Yeah. Honestly, I'm along for the ride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love where our team is at. I think no matter what, we have a bright future. So I'm just along for the ride. You know what I mean?
Travis, we're out here. We're on the porch. We're drinking ultras. Don't tell his kids. They can't swear yet or drink, I assume.
No, they cannot. So for me, I think I'm really pleased with the young core that we have. So at this point, I'm more about building confidence going into next season than going for the draft pick, right?
So you want them wins?
I want the wins. So if we could finesse the, you said 22 games left?
Yeah.
If I could see 15-7, even if we didn't make the play-in game, that gives me a lot of momentum going to the
nice.
Yeah. I feel like truly we have one of the deepest teams in the NBA right now in terms of guys that you feel okay with giving you 10 or 15 minutes. So I think we either go center or shooting guard. Like, what are we missing other than an upgraded shooting guard, right? And which you're not going to get immediately out of the draft.
Yeah, I'm living this life with a different attitude. Don't flip, don't trip, keeping up the good mood, cooking up some good
All right,
food
so
with my friends in the street. Yeah, people
good
wanna
times.
see
Thanks everyone who was in that video. Can't remember everyone. We got Blair, Andy was in there, Alex.
Raph kicked it off.
Yachty was in there. I think I just got everybody. So shout out to you all. Thanks so much for coming through Court Cousins Night. It was great kicking it with you.
While we're talking about Raph, not only was he met up with us the first night, showing us around, tons of recommendations.
Yep.
He hung out with me and watched the game when we played the Pelicans, and then joined us on the
recap.
The recap afterwards.
Yeah, that was fun.
From the streets of Orlando, so that was fun. Big thanks to Raph.
Dude's got presence too. He knocked it out the park.
For sure, man.
First
We didn't
try.
even. He was like me.
No.
We had no notes.
Yeah.
Just winging it from the street, holding bums off, being like, now we're doing a thing. It's good times.
But,
Check it out.
it was great to hear a variety of Magic fans' thoughts on the play-in, on the picks. We've already established on this show that we were fighting for the play-in.
Yeah.
That was 5-6 games ago now. I don't know how you feel, but I'm feeling like coming back down to reality a little bit. It's seeming more and more unfeasible as we keep doing the seesaw of one win, one loss, and the teams ahead of us, as was stated, I think, in Blair's interview, they're good teams. They're not trying to lose.
Right.
There's like 4 of them too. Like,
be difficult to
it's
make
tough.
it. Yeah, you'd have to go on a huge run here.
Yeah.
But it's looking less and less.
J.I.
One of the things we
out
have
now.
not mentioned yet that I'm surprised we didn't, and this is on me because this should have been in one of my what I learned. One of the coolest things about this trip for you is the same thing that was cool for me. Is it was nice to talk Orlando Magic basketball with somebody who's not living in the same house as you, because we don't have that around here.
Very true.
Nobody else even knows we really do this or knows anything about the Magic.
Yep.
So that was definitely a cool experience, and it's a simple thing, but it needs to be said that it was cool to chop it up with all you guys down there who know your stuff. So that was awesome.
And there was a lot of confidence. Yachty is 15-8. That seems to be disintegrating there, Yachty. I'm sorry. That's already almost dissolving in the thin air at this point.
I expected nothing less from Yachty. That answer right there.
Eternal
it's amazing.
optimist.
Love it.
Yeah. And a couple other folks, but I think the take that I like there, I think is that Andy gave, quoting from Philip Rossman-Reich, is, if we don't make it, that's okay.
It is.
And we'll probably come up a little bit short.
Sure.
And that actually might be the most advantageous outcome for us right now, especially with Jonathan Isaac going down. Now I'm more in the camp of like, all right, well, let me see what one of these picks is, because now we do kind of need another high upside guy.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Jonathan Isaac was going to be potentially that high upside guy. Now I have nothing. I have no expectations now with that. So as some of the guys mentioned, I think Alex mentioned this too, just having one more bite at the apple of the draft, talking about those 2 picks, I can see us making both of them. I know we've talked about taking one, trading one, maybe pairing them and trying to move up. I don't think moving up is too realistic. People don't like to really move too much, especially if you're in those top 3 picks. But I don't know. I think I'd like one more bite of the apple now with J.I. going down, with Franz twisting the ankle, although Coach Mosley said he's fine and I'll be back. We need another high upside guy, another or 2 high potential guys, and see what they turn into. How you feeling about this, Pish, play-in and the picks?
I've been saying this the whole time. I said it to people down there. We're playing with house money here.
Mm-hmm.
I like that the team's been playing well. I like that you can kind of coin flip whether we're going to win or not. I mean, that wasn't us last year. Okay. This trading wins thing is actually good, right? Because last year we'd be lucky to get one win in a 7 or 8 game span. So now to be able to look at one every other game, that's a big jump in 1 year.
Huge.
Do not belittle how huge that is. That is the flower going way, way faster.
Yeah.
Some fertilizer got on there, and it's going way faster than you would think.
Yeah.
So I love that. And I think if we make it, great. If we don't, also there are great things that can come from that. This team's going to still be hungry, whether we make the plan and lose that first game or don't.
Yep.
The fire's still going to be there because things have been going in an upward direction already. So they want to continue that.
And we feel we should be there. So we need to do it.
Right. And a lot of people talked about that bad start. If we don't have that bad start, we are in that conversation, right? Like we're one of those teams that has that record.
The bad start, dude. It was funny because every interview I talked to people about it, and you were busy doing like the raffle and stuff. You were doing other stuff, so that's why I was interviewing people. But everyone had a slightly different number. Yeah. Everyone was like, "Yeah, we started like what was it, like 4-16?" Someone's like, "Yeah, we're 5-18." I'm like, "Yeah, I just agreed with all of them."
Sure.
I don't really know. Does anyone know what was the latest number? I don't know what it was, but
I feel like it was like 5-20.
We started shitty.
Yeah,
that is the main story of that. Right. The main idea of that story.
But we're missing a lot of players. We weren't whole. Once we figured out how to play together and better and people got healthy, we've been a different team since then.
Yeah.
You bring that whole team for a whole season, that's great. But you're going to add some more pieces either through the draft or otherwise. Mm-hmm. So your potential to get even better is still there. So I would imagine that next year, that's when you're really like, hey, we need to be in that play-in or, 7, 8, maybe 6.
That's the expectation.
That's our expectation for next year. So it doesn't really matter what happens the rest of this year as long as guys stay healthy, they learn how to play together, and they realize that this is there and they keep that positive energy.
Amen.
Sky's the limit.
Let's go, baby. And so how do you like 5 with a Fan? It's a new segment. We're going to be extending that offer to our second cousin tier over on the Patreon. So go check that out. If you'd like to be on the show, here's your opportunity. All right, now we are
going. What if we call it High Five and you get a little of the devil's lettuce in there and interview him that way?
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that because with the Markelle Petrus interview, there was a lot of people in the comments that really appreciated my my mental state at that time.
Right. Okay.
And they thought like maybe that should be a regular thing, like Kyle Crunked interviews, like zombie Kyle interviews. We can make it a thing and just feed me for the night, and then I have to interview someone at the end of the night. There's lots of good ideas happening here, so let us know in the comments. What do we keep? What do we get rid of?
I thought that was just going to be for the outtakes, but it's in the show now.
Now there is a segment that is not in dispute. It's starter, backup, and bench. It's an oldie and a goodie, but it's a special Orlando edition. We're going to start with a little Magic talk. Do you want to start with the Magic talk or the Orlando talk? Or do a little sandwich?
Let's end with that because I feel like that could be the most controversial.
Hell yeah. All right, so we're going to start with some Magic talk. Man, Paolo has had a couple really nice clutch games against the New Orleans Pelicans and then most recently last night against the Charlotte Hornets, where he kind of just took over in the fourth quarter at the end, towards the end of the game, hitting big shot after big shot. So this starter, backup, and bench is Pish. Who do you want the ball in the hands of to win the game? Is it Paolo, Markelle, or Franz?
Well, starter, backup, bench. So I'm going to get to select them all. As my starter, I'm going with Markelle Fultz. Backup, I'm going with Paolo. And on the bench, I'm going with Franz. I love me some Franz, but I'll start there on the bench. I see Franz miss shots from time to time. Mm-hmm. At key points, and he doesn't get calls from the officials. So basically, because of the not getting the calls from the officials, that's why he's on the bench. He doesn't get that love.
Okay.
Especially in the important part of the game time. He likes to play those angles off the window, which I love, but I do see those hitting and missing, and I don't see him getting a foul call. Paolo, I see getting that foul call, so that's why I have him as the backup, because I feel like no matter what he does, it's going to be either a foul call or it's going to be something that's going to be positive a little bit more. And I want the ball in Fultz's hands most of the time for us because he's a great decision maker. He's a fantastic ball handler. He's good at getting to his kill spots, as you love. He knows when he's got that shot and when he doesn't, and he can get to his area. But if he's not there, he's not going to force it, and he's a great passer. So that's my 3.
Well, I had the same order, but I'm going to mix it up just for the sake of the show. To try to
Sometimes it's the right answer.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, okay. To try to bring some numbers to bear on this, as I like to do, just to provide some evidence, for my claims here. I looked up for our team in the NBA fourth quarter when there's a 5-point differential between the team scores. Someone who's played at least 18 games, what are the best plus minuses there? Who's had the most points, actually? And Markelle is 39th in the league, Paolo's 55th, and Franz is 101st. So your eye test, Pish, what you enjoyed, you kind of put them out as they were. I'm going to switch it up, though. I'm going to go with Paolo as my starter just because he's really impressed me as of late.
Screw the numbers you looked up, right?
Screw the numbers I looked up. Sometimes you got to go with the eye test, and the eye test tells me that Paolo is on one right now, that he's taking his game up to a different level, that he understands he's a guy down the stretch that can create his own shot, get to the hoop, get to the line, and get a bucket. He said after the interview, this is what I've been doing. I get buckets. Mm-hmm. If the team needs me to go and get a bucket, I can do that. He can. Not far behind, I guess my backup would be Markelle Fultz. Both of those guys, Paolo and Markelle, they just bring a little bit more in terms of isolation scoring than Franz. Franz made some tremendous leaps early in the season, even though it was ugly for us because we had no point guard and he had to be the guard. So his ball handling, his guard play is much improved, but it's still not at the level of the handle of Paolo Banchero and then Markelle Fultz, who's ahead of all of them. But I'll still put Markelle as my starter just because of the size and the mismatch and the isolation opportunity, which sadly in late game situations, a lot of times it just comes to, hey, my best guy versus your best guy.
Right.
And I'm taking Paolo Banchero.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, you ready for the next one, Pish?
Sure.
Okay, so now more Orlando themed. Starter, backup, and bench. Items to steal from the Magic Hall of Fame inside Amway.
Yeah, for me, it's all about that 30 assists in a game ball from Scott Skiles.
Right?
It's my starter, it's my backup, and it's my bench.
Wow.
There's a lot of other items in there that are definitely cool,
mm-hmm.
but that one to me connects. I remember watching that game on the Sunshine Network because we were in Florida at the time it happened.
Yeah.
But we had tickets to the game before it and the game after it, and that was the one we didn't go to. Right? But still got to see it and be a part of it kind of in a way. So that for me would be there wasn't anything else there that was like that groundbreaking that I had to have, but that for me is the thing I'd want.
I took some artistic liberties here because I didn't remember exactly what was in the case, and I tried to watch the video, but I didn't really get good shots of the cases.
Yep.
So I agree with you. The starter's got to be the record-setting 30-assist ball.
Right.
We don't have any other records, right? We don't have any other NBA records.
I think that used to be at the Basketball Hall of Fame, and we didn't see it when we went there. So it makes sense.
I'm not digging that up again. Screw the NBA Hall of Fame. It's poverty.
It's not the NBA Hall of Fame. It's the Basketball Hall of Fame. That's the problem.
Well, that's part of the problem. As my backup, I'm going to take a Shaq shoe. That was at the game. They were auctioning a Shaq shoe.
Yep.
It is just like so much more ginormous than you would think. It would take up like our whole freaking shelf right here.
You could put 2 beers in there.
It would be sick just to have as a nice piece on the set. So if anyone has a plug for one of those, we need a Shaq shoe. That would be my starter.
Okay.
Or that would be my backup. I'm sorry.
That's a good one.
And then as a bench, this wasn't in the Hall of Fame, I don't believe, but I want the Dwight Howard Superman cape.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that'd be a cool piece.
That would be neat.
I could put it on in my undies, run around the house. It'd be sweet.
Okay.
What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? What pieces of Orlando Magic memorabilia would you want? What would be your starter back?
There's got to be something we missed there. I know
there's a lot of stuff.
They had the scorebook from like when they made the finals, but like we didn't win any games in that one. So
yeah,
I don't know if I really want that.
I said when we looked through that at the Solar Bears game, right? That's when we kind of went through it a little bit. But then I was getting content and I wasn't actually digesting it. Yep. That's kind of the problem actually sometimes about problem about doing the podcast. I love the podcast, but I feel sometimes I need to get video or content and I'm not really present in the moment because I'm videotaping things.
Same.
So I said, I really want to get a good look at the Hall of Fame, and then I didn't. So I still need to like take just a no camera 30-minute stroll next time we go down and read all the placards and really go through the thing because I want to.
Right.
I still haven't.
Okay.
Something that I did do a lot of was eating that taco. No, baby, I didn't cheat on you. Don't worry.
Unbelievable.
There's a lot of Mexican food down in Orlando, one of the things that makes it great. And we got a lot of recommendations for good taco spots. So we are going to do Orlando edition best taco joint, Pish. Starter, backup, and bench. What you got?
This is uber tough for me right now because I'm super hungry. I have not eaten this entire day yet.
This is bad.
And now we have to talk about some of the most delicious tacos I've ever had.
If you haven't eaten, turn this off right now. Listen later. Eat first.
Yeah, look, as a disclaimer, look, I'm sure we may not have hit your favorite local taco spot. There's still some meat in the taco for the next time we go that we can check out those places. But together, you and I checked out 3, and then I checked out an additional one after you left. So those are the ones we have to work with. So, cut us some slack.
Yeah.
We may have missed a good one. I know Taco Cat was on my to-do list. If I had time for a 5th, I would have hit that one. So make a list in the comments section of the places we got to go next time, and then we'll do this again with those. So
and see if they'll give us free food.
Only hold what we're about to say based on the fact that I went to 4 and you went to 3. And
I went to 4 as well. I went to one without you.
Oh, you did? Mm-hmm. What was the one you went to without me?
Jessica's Frintura's catering truck.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Are they making your list?
Yeah, they're an honorable mention.
Okay. Well, as my bench, I have the one I went to without you, which is called Tacos My Gui or Guy, or I'm not really sure how you say that. I wasn't going to look it up because that's just not who I am.
It's funnier when you do it like that.
I don't know what it is, but the ordering in there was a little funky because I ordered 2 tacos and I got 4. But once the food itself, the establishment, everyone was very polite. They came and they checked, they asked how things were. It was a good experience, but they're definitely a bench. But to be fair, honestly, of all of these places, were better tacos than I've had in New England. There's only a couple places in New England where I've had good tacos. So these are all still better than our average taco spot around here.
He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Don't listen to him.
Well, why don't you just go with yours then? Because obviously mine doesn't matter. I don't know food.
Matter.
I'm not fat or anything.
No. Well, Pish, I prepared for this segment probably more than any segment that we have here.
Oh, God damn it. He makes like a page of notes for almost everything. So this
is
to
long.
Be a 2 or 3 pager.
This is a full page.
Unbelievable.
A full slide that I have. I take tacos seriously. That's why I'm offended right now that you say this is better than any New England. That's not true, sir. We've got great tacos in Bridgeport.
Me.
Yeah, but you don't eat onions.
Yeah, so what?
Well, onions are a key ingredient in a street taco.
I didn't have it. Okay, I'm not judging based on street taco.
Okay.
I'm best. I had no onions in any of these tacos.
You know what? That's important, Pish. Is to have a caveat. We're comparing apples to oranges. I didn't get the same thing at any of these 3 establishments either, actually.
Right. And we didn't get the same type of taco from each place. So it is a little different on that.
Right. I guess if we really wanted to have a very defined taste test, we'd have to set some rubrics and parameters.
Fair, but I'm also counting in the establishment, the aesthetic of everything.
Okay.
Did it fill me up? Was I good? Like, it's all part of it for me.
Me being offended blocked you off, so why don't you continue?
Okay, so on my bench I had tacos, my gui. As the backup, I've got the Tavern. That's that little place we went to right when we got there, and it's kind of like a little hole-in-the-wall dive bar.
Yeah.
It was around the corner from where we were staying, and they were way better than they had any business being.
Yes.
We actually went back the next night to get more because it was just convenient by our place.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I've ever gone back-to-back places like that because, it was just as good the second night.
It was very good.
And I get pork tacos. I don't mess around with just usually regular beef or anything.
Yep.
I get the good stuff.
75 West Colonial Drive.
It was a good spot. I feel like that was maybe under the radar. Maybe a lot of Orlando people don't know. So check them out.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a new spot.
Got a good story about them in a second.
My starter is Tin and Taco.
Mm-hmm.
I had one of their, I think, double cheeseburger ones. I had like some cheese on the outside of the taco, kind of grilled. Unbelievable. And they also had a great sign in there, which I took a picture with.
Oh, yeah. What was it? Taco
to me or something?
Taco dirty to me.
Taco dirty to me. Yeah. Something like that. And it's a great place. I felt like that was a good portion. The 2 tacos I got were filling. The taste was amazing on those. That was right there. None of this was really I think most of the tacos we had without being drunk. So it's not like You know how when you're drunk, sometimes all food is good.
Yeah.
That shouldn't play in for me because I wasn't ever that level of drunk when we had these tacos. I might have been a couple beers in, but
yeah, I don't know if I could say the same thing, but I'll give my order now. But yes, I do want to separate myself from Pich as a food connoisseur.
As a snob.
No, but I do take my tacos seriously. All right. And Mexican food seriously. I did eat 150 burritos in 2011 and I did keep track. So I just want people to know. And when I visit friends in San Diego, I eat exclusively tacos. So I just want people to know my resume as I'm coming to this starter back of a bench here.
Super important.
I have my starter Pich as the Tavern Bar and Grill at 75 West Colonial Drive.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. I mean, so
see that
we had birria tacos, which seems to be a very popular style down in Orlando. It's not as popular up here, but that's like a taco that's like refried and has this delicious like gravy that it comes with. Oh, beef is just falls off the bone. It's slow cooked. It's tremendous.
It was.
A lot of birria style tacos there. But this one is just more for the experience. We came in, we had just landed late. There weren't a lot of places open. We stumbled over, we kind of walked over to this Tavern Bar and Grill. Didn't look like much from the outside. We go in, there's this gentleman there that is just very hospitable, let's say. We got free nachos.
Oh yeah.
He required us to do a shot and bought our drinks for us.
Yep.
The tacos were delicious. And then he asked me to check out his cock. But like, it wasn't like gay vibes. Not that there's anything wrong with gay vibes. I'm just setting the scene for people. It was more like bro vibes. You know, he's like
I thought he had like a rooster out in his car or something.
No. His penis.
Huh.
Yeah, he was, just trying to paint the picture for everyone. Which, you know, there was a lady there. It was weird. It was bro vibes for sure, but he was a nice guy. But he was hammered.
Super vital for the starting backup bench.
It was just, but you know, I understand, you know, what ladies are getting. All I had to do was take a gaze down at this man's junk, and he got me free nachos and a bunch of shots. I mean, ladies have it good. I didn't even have to touch it.
Okay. Show's about to get me too.
The backup was Tin and Taco. That was a very different experience. I had an Al Pastor bowl, which is normally my go-to taco. It's a slow-cooked pork with the pineapple and pineapple chunks, pineapple glaze in there, over yellow rice. It was absolutely slamming. This would be my number one, if not for getting bought drinks and free nachos at Tavern.
Okay.
Because they also had really quality brand soda.
Oh, good point.
Which was nice. And I had a really delicious root beer. It's a good place to go for something quick. You know, it was informal seating, not necessarily a date spot. Could be a date spot if there's like something else happening after. You know, a quick eat, but really good for fast food. You could tell it was probably made sometime, you know, earlier in that day, like good shit. So it was very good. And then on the bench is Gringos Locos. It's just as it sounds. It's for white boys. Don't go there. Latin people, you shouldn't even look at this restaurant. It may bring some type of curse on you or your family. The chupacabra may try to come and get you if you look at this. My Puerto Ricans know what I'm talking about. But really, this is just, it was like a dressed up Qdoba. It just felt like it was very mediocre.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Impersonation of Mexican food. Like you said, when I ordered tacos, I ordered 3 tacos and it gave me 6. That's not how tacos work, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
You order tacos a la carte. You order one at a time. That's how tacos work. It's tripped up that they gave us 2 at a time and they were not good. The tortilla was not right. It was too overpowering for their weekly season meats.
We waited a long time for tacos, which shouldn't take that long. And there was only 3 people working in there. 1 person on the register and 2 putting things together.
That place was way too busy.
A sketchy bathroom.
It was a bathroom from the Saw movie, dude.
Well, it was busy. Yeah, it kind of was. But
it was creepy.
Kind of busy because it was before the Magic and the soccer game.
Yeah.
So like everybody was just down there like trying to feed it up. And
but
like,
Tin and Taco was around the corner.
I could see developing a relationship with this taco place if like I'm drunk and this is the place that's close to downtown and I always go here.
Yeah.
But like it didn't knock my socks off at all. Like That's why I didn't even make my list.
Yeah, it wouldn't be on my list. I just didn't know we were including ones that we went to individually. So I had an honorable mention with, again, Jessica's Frenturas catering truck.
Okay.
That was near a bar that I met Yachty at that
The
I
Lucky
don't
Lure.
remember. The Lucky Lure, that was near there. Just parked in a parking lot right up down the street. So they would definitely have knocked Gringos Locos off the list.
Okay.
But that's where it is.
Well, a lot of people suggested Gringos Locos, so we probably had to bring them up in some way, shape, or form.
Yo.
That was like one of the first places that was suggested to me, and I'm just like, you know what? Don't make that suggestion to people because they've got much better right in the Orlando
Tin and Taco
downtown.
is around the corner.
Yeah, do not do that.
Yeah.
Go there.
But thank you for the recommendations, all the recommendations. The Tin and Taco was a recommendation.
Tin and
as
Taco,
well.
not a sponsor yet, but hey.
We're trying. We're trying to move
Let's
into
talk
the
about
food
it.
space. We're trying to move into the food space. Every year we go down, we'll do some food recommendations. What are your favorite spots in Orlando? We really just wanted to highlight not just the magic, but Orlando as a city. And there's a lot of good eats. There's a lot of good things to do.
Yeah.
And just go, and hang out there.
I think that we're a good group to be able to rate food because you are the high-end food snob who even when drunk wouldn't eat food at the Hairy Buffalo and had to decide I've got to go find somewhere else to eat. I can't eat this. And I am like the complete opposite of like, oh, I need some food. Was that food? I will eat that food. So like
I am a real fucking snob, aren't I?
But I am the complete opposite because I'm just like, I don't really care for food, but I need it to live.
That's true. We're both ends of the spectrum. We are almost the perfect,
If I could live off an IV bag that supplied me with the things food gave me, I'd be cool with it. I would eat once in a while just to be social.
For taste.
Sort of like I drink. Oh, what do you guys eat wings? I'll have some, sure.
Just one, though. I have my bag. And now, Epic Show continuing. It's time to recap what happened in the Court Cousins Championship. Ding, 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 ding. Yes, each month we will set 5 bets that we will track throughout that month to decide who gets that beautiful golden beauty right there to hang over their shoulder. Pich is a champion, but we had 5 wagers. The winner of the wagers gets to decide the shootout, which then will determine who gets to hold on to the belt.
Yeah, this is the first time we're doing it, so we just wanted to have an element of an actual somewhat shootout.
Yep.
Into this
fun.
and give the person who may have been screwed by people not playing because of injury or whatever a chance to still stay in it with the shooting. And
of course, like I kept losing the Court Cousins Championship, and because I'm a little bitch and I'm an only child, I was like, this sucks. I just keep losing. Can we do something with the format? And then we changed the format, and of course I fucking win. And I could have just had the belt.
Right, but I'm cool with it because some only children aren't bitches.
All right, so how the bets went down. Paolo 30 burgers. I took the under and I won, sadly. Suggs steals. Anthony Unwin suggested this. Pich took the under and won. Moritz charges. Pich set that at 6.5. I took the under. He got 5, but just not quite there.
Yep.
Fultz points. I set the bar way too low on this. 13. Sure. Pich jumped all over it. Took the over. He won. Markelle 16.6 points a game in the past month. Nice job, sir. And another fan-inspired one over on our Patreon. Get to decide this. Gary Harris 3s total. The total was 20.5. That was way high. I took the under.
He missed a game.
He did miss a game. That's fair. And he got 16. So I guess it wasn't really that crazy. If he was in that game, hits 2 or 3, then you're at 19 maybe.
Yeah.
That's damn close. So
close.
You're right. But I edged it out 3 victories to 2. And so I decided on a very difficult kicking a mini ball into a mini hoop.
Feet?
So we're doing this challenge here because I play soccer a little bit more competitively than Pich, so I think I have an advantage trying to kick something into a net. But I don't know. He played the youth soccer.
I love soccer, yeah.
Yeah? All right, let's try. I should get a little more advantage, too. Let me get the first 3.
Whoa, 3? You're just going to kick 3 in a row?
3 in a row, and then we go back and forth.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if you just make one, I'm done?
Yep.
I don't even get a rebuttal?
Correct.
No.
You can get a rebuttal. Okay. That's fair.
But would I get 3 rebuttals?
No, you get 1 rebuttal.
Unbelievable. Just going in cold.
These are your rules.
That seems... I know, but I thought we were going to gentlemanly agree on that.
Give me the rock.
Seems
A little unfair. Will you give me 2?
I think this might be easier than you think.
Wait, you give me 2? I don't think so, bro. Yes! Yes! That's right, baby! That's fucking right, let's go! Good times were had by all. And now it's time, Pish.
Yes.
To set some new wagers.
Indeed.
For the next month. I believe you're going first, sir. We're giving 2 each, and then the Patreons out there, go to our Patreon webpage and chime in. You get to decide the 5th, which we'll talk about next show. All right, Pish, what do you got for me? First one.
Well, I've got Cole Anthony. He's averaging 12.1 points per game this season, which seems low, right?
It's very low.
He just had a big breakout game after having a game where he only scored about 2.
Yeah.
He had a 28-pointer. So, but in the last 5, he's at 13.8. So he's kind of on the uptick.
Yeah.
Definitely leading the scoring off the bench. I'm going to set the line for this next series of 12 games at 13.5 based on the last 5, which has seemed more Coley.
That's a good line, Pish. I'm going to be the optimistic Magic fan and take the over. I think Cole has been struggling a little bit, but like our boy Blair on the fan 5 with a fan, he said the switch has been turned on lately, and I do tend to agree. I'm hoping that none of those 2-point duds are going to be coming in the next stretch, and just because of that, the average will be over 13 and 13.5. I got another shooting one, but this one with Jalen, because he's been shooting the rock pretty damn well lately. 38.5% from 3 in the last 12 games. We got 12 more on the slate here. So that's on 3.3 attempts per game. Will he continue to shoot at least 37% from 3, sir? What say you?
I am a man wearing a Jalen Suggs jersey.
Yes, you are.
So I get what you've done here, but I will not be suckered into this. I will take the under.
Peach takes the under 37%. You see that, Jalen? I believed in you. He bought your jersey, but it's false. All right?
There's a monetary value attached to this.
No, it's false. It's false.
I just don't feel like he shoots a lot. So
well, it doesn't. That's why it's percentage. It's not attempts. It's just percentage. All right, you got the last one.
No, I have the next one.
Yeah, true.
So lately we've been talking about it. We're doing a 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win, 1 loss kind of thing.
Yep.
There's 12 games here.
Yep.
Just makes sense to set this line at 6.1 wins. How many wins are we getting in the next 12 games?
Oh, we're doing a win. See, Peach has gotten really tactical about this. He's just filling these in now. He doesn't fill them in before the show, so I don't have time. So if you will allow me, let me think out loud for a moment. We've got Portland, tough game. Milwaukee, tough game. Utah, tough game, but winnable. Miami, we have problems with them. San Antonio, that should be a win. Phoenix, tough game. Clippers, tough game. Lakers should be a win. Washington, tough game. Knicks, tough game. Brooklyn, that should be a win. I'm sadly gonna go under on this. I'm sorry to be the pessimistic Magic fan here, but those are some tough teams. And Franz is out with an ankle right now for maybe 1 or 2 of these. Milwaukee, they're a freaking buzzsaw. Phoenix has Kevin Durant now. The Clippers are playing better. Washington's playing for something. New York's playing for something. The only gimmies I see here is really San Antonio, maybe Brooklyn, maybe Utah. Those are the ones I expect us to win.
Yeah, Brooklyn's playing pretty well too. So
we're playing Memphis if John Morant is still on the team at that point. I don't know. That could change that.
Yep. I was just trying to see if I could get you to bait in the optimistic portion. I feel like 6 would be very, very great. If
that
we
would
could
be
get that.
wonderful.
I feel like 5 is more doable. So I think you're in good shape.
The last one here is WCJ. In his last 12 has posted 14.8 points and 9.3 rebounds. That's his averages. So I am proposing to you, sir, a combined points and rebounds line of 25. That would be a 15 and 10 line, which he's pretty much been at.
Yeah, that's Wendell.
Yeah, that's
right
Wendell
there.
right there, baby.
So you're saying is Wendell going to have a good group of games, or
and now with J.I. out, is he going to get some more minutes too?
I mean, honestly, I kind of feel like if I could take 25, I just would. That's the number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the over just to be optimistic on this one.
Okay. It's a tough line. It's set right where it should be.
But it is exactly where it should be. That's exactly what we usually get from Wendell. I know he'll probably have a couple great games in there, have a couple bad ones, and that's what an average is.
Amen. And so, of course, the Patreons, you set the last one. Head on over there, engage in that discussion on our homepage. We'll be using that and updating you on the next episode as to which of those wagers we took. And a special thank you to those second cousins who are supporting us and the All-Stars on our Patreon. We got those goals, and we really appreciate you helping us to reach them. I'm telling you, 300 is going to be sick. There's going to be a bunch of exclusive content in that campaign. Shout out to all of those All-Stars and second cousins. Magic Player History, Wiffle, Andy Torres, Dylan Holden, Drum, Omid Saberkani, Rafael Perez, Breadhead, Al, Matthew Bell, Dan Young, Yachty, Bernie Pichet, Gloria and Damien, Connor and the Polish Wonder. You guys freaking rock. And now, Pish, it's that time again. Hit the music, sir. The Book of Mormon, which I just recently saw with Nadra.
Yes.
The main character's idea of heaven is parents tell him as a 9-year-old that if he's good and he follows God, he can go to heaven like Orlando, Florida. And there's songs about Orlando, Florida throughout this thing.
Okay.
It was hilarious, and I did not expect that. Is he correct? Is Orlando heaven?
I mean, I don't have any proof to say otherwise.
Okay.
So I'm going to say it's anything. What was your favorite moment from Court Cousins night? It's not whatever it is. What was it?
I think this is a little crazy, maybe. Gathering with everyone before we went in at the brewery.
Okay.
That's when I wasn't quite Zombie Kyle. It was great to see people get their feedback, talk to them before we all went in, and then the game was obviously amazing. Put back, game winner, buzzer beater, but it was just seeing the people. Hanging out. What about you?
Agreed. It was definitely cool to meet everybody there.
Yeah.
We got there a little early. I wasn't sure if anyone was actually going to show up for a little bit. But yeah, it was definitely great to chop it up with other people who actually are familiar with the show and know what's going on. So that was excellent, man. It was a humbling experience to have some of these people say some of the things they said. And I'm not good at taking positive stuff, but I feel like I was really trying to
accept the love,
absorb that love from the community, which
means a lot.
Made it great.
Yeah. All right, so I got an over-under piece. I want you to set the line on days left at your current job.
Gonna set the line at 30.
Okay.
Which is a month.
All right.
It's ambitious.
Okay.
But
well, I'm
that's
laughing, but I'm sorry that you're so discontent right there right now, man. Hopefully we'll find something better next.
Indeed. Which you did a lot of interviewing. We saw some clips of there. And look, I know you don't want to choose favorites amongst your own child, but I'm taking Petrus right out of the equation.
Okay.
What's your favorite non-Petrus interview?
Ooh. Why are you going to make me do that, dog? Why are you going to make me do that? Well,
there had to have been a moment in one of them that you enjoy more than the others.
Well, talking to Yachty about something that's going to be in the Patreon outtakes.
Okay.
About something that he posted.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the video.
All right.
That was a highlight because ever since that I saw him post that, I wanted to mention it to him, and we had a great laugh about it. And I've just known Yachty the longest out of any of those dudes.
Sure.
And so it was good to reconnect with him. I think, it's always good reconnecting with people that you've now built these bonds with.
Right.
So I think that was probably one of my largest laughs, but everyone was slam dunk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see here. This is for you because we set the over-under line for jerseys at 2.5. You only got one. I only got one. So we went under. Yep. So I ask you, Pish, is there any purchase not made that you regret?
Well, I want to say yes here, but like I spoke about in some other previous realms, I'm not seeing the Wendell Carter jerseys out there. I'm not seeing the Markelle Fultz everywhere. Like, you got it at the stadium, but like if you go to the Dicks, you get Cole Anthony and Suggs and some Paolo and a little bit of Franz. And it's like, well, yeah, but where's everybody else?
Yeah,
so
the other starters.
I didn't see anything that I didn't buy that
you wanted?
That I wanted.
Okay.
But there are things I expected to see that I would have then purchased.
Okay.
And I would have liked to get my hands on a newer Wendell jersey, but I didn't see one, so it wasn't available.
Get on your game, merch. Come on.
Last one for you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
This was obviously a great trip. We talked about it in the entire show.
Yeah.
Probably ad nauseum for some folks.
Yeah.
How do we top it next year?
It's gonna be bigger. Like the second cousin family's growing, so I'm expecting we're probably gonna have about double the people.
Okay.
Hopefully we can all get in one section even a little closer.
Yep.
We were doing some negotiating with Jess. We said, hey, instead of cutting down the net, can we just take some shots? Maybe.
Right.
And he's like, I'll give you a layup. And I'm like, all right, I don't know.
Maybe,
We'll see. We're
maybe.
doing some negotiation.
Okay.
We were also talking about maybe just instead of seats, doing a box.
All right.
And getting some catering and some booze in there and
Okay.
doing that type of situation.
I like what I'm hearing.
We got to step up, the giveaways. We're going to keep doing more of that. But, I mean, Nadra's coming, I think, next year. That's going to step it up.
Okay.
We just got to keep building with the people.
Sounds good. I'm excited.
We didn't do a pregame show any of the games either. I like to do a live show down there. That was the goal.
Yes. I would like to do that as well.
It was unbelievable, though, really.
Yeah.
I mean, humbling is the right word for it. It's great to hear that people are getting some laughs out of the show, that they feel like they're here in the fan attic with us, in the studio, in the shrine that we've created here to the Orlando Magic. They feel like they're just kind of hanging out with some of their buddies, having a beer. And that's really what we want it to feel like. Have some laughs. We don't take ourselves too seriously. And now the crazy
unless he's talking about food.
Yeah, and then I'm very serious about it. But the nice byproduct of that I didn't expect in the way that it has been is the love and the community and the support that we're now developing. So thank you, everyone. That was unreal.
Yeah.
Can't express it enough.
Not even going to follow that up, sir. You did it well.
All right. Well,
thank you, everybody. It was awesome.
We'll see you soon. Check out the reaction videos. Make sure you're subscribing and liking. Stay tuned. We may do another live stream at some point when Pich is in about 31 days. So look out for that. It's been real. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Thanks for coming.